Hello everybody, welcome to Vlogmealex. Let's play the Witch's House Part 10. And this actually isn't a Let's Play because I already beat the game. But for this video I'm going to do a deeper look into the Witch's House, or I'm going to be analyzing the story a little bit more and talking about the backstory, because after I beat the game I was extremely curious about the story, what actually took place. So I wikied everything, researched stuff, and a lot of interesting stuff came out. So I'm gonna talk about that, and also a secret ending that you can also unlock. So let's start with this video then. Okay, first let's start by talking about the secret ending. So the final secret ending is actually a lot more revealing in the end. You get a lot more information because the words in the last witch's diary, or the final diary entry that we read before running away from the legless girl, that diary entry is not actually written in Ellen's words, but are written in Viola's words for the secret ending. It's also revealed in the secret ending that the cat is a demon, or a cat possessed by a demon that made a contract with Ellen, and that's how Ellen became the witch. And in order to get this ending, you have to play the game and not interact with the cat all game. Yeah, you can't talk to the cat at all during the entire game, which means no saving whatsoever. And that means I can't do it, because you saw how many freaking times I saved during that game. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave an annotation to someone who was able to, so that you can see the scene where the cat reveals himself to be a demon, and also where they read the last witch's diary and the words are different, where Viola is writing the words and not Ellen. Okay, so now I want to talk about the backstory of the witch's house. If you go into the witch's house and look for the books, such as in the library and stuff, after you beat the last puzzle, you can actually get lots of important information, which you can kind of piece together to figure out what happened before the story took place, so the events before the game actually started. And I wikied and researched a lot of things and put the information together, and I was able to formulate a summary of what happens before the game. So the entire story goes like this. Viola actually was friends with Ellen before the game. She's visited her house to play before. Ellen was suffering from a disease caused by a demon, and her parents didn't love her. When she exed her parents, the demon ate their souls and thanked Ellen. In return, he made a contract with Ellen, and she became a witch and was given the witch's house. The deal between them was that if she can get more people dead for the demon to eat, he would grant her a spell to cure her disease. But afterwards, instead of giving her that spell, he gave her a different spell, a spell to switch bodies. The next time Viola came over to her house, Ellen used the spell, asking her to switch bodies for one day. Ellen agreed, because she was feeling sorry for her, and the spell took place. There's a book in the library that explains that the spell will not work unless consent is given, and also cannot be broken without consent from both sides. What Viola didn't realize was that Ellen was planning to keep her body for good. When she switched, Viola discovered that Ellen's body had her legs chopped off and her eyes gouged out. Before leaving, Ellen in Viola's body gave Viola in Ellen's body some medicine, or rather a burning medicine which messed up her throat so that she cannot talk about this to anybody. So Ellen also may have done this because she didn't want to hear the screams of agony coming from her own body. So Ellen now decides to leave the house, but Viola uses the witch's powers that she has with Ellen's body to create the roses that block the path out of the forest. This is where the game begins. Ellen is already possessing Viola's body and has to go back into the house to get the special water to get rid of the rose bushes. Viola uses her powers to stop Ellen, but Ellen is able to get through all the traps and puzzles, well, because, after all, it's my house, yes? So basically in the game, I was controlling Ellen in Viola's body the entire time. The cat was the demon, who left the cat's body in the end because the witch's magic and the house would die along with her. That's why we saw the dead cat right before we went into the witch's room. And in the end, when the cat returned, he probably only came back to devour Viola's soul, because that's what that demon does. So this is the terrible story of the witch's house. Poor Ellen. She was doomed from the start. She couldn't win. And we were helping Ellen with her entire escape plan. What a feel-good game! So guys, that's the backstory of the witch's house. It was a creepy, disturbing, terrible story. But you gotta say, it was written really good. And that's usually what makes a story or a game really good. It had great puzzles, it had great scares, but most of all, that twisted ending probably made the game entirely. I don't know, my sentiments, I guess. You have to feel sorry for Viola because she ended up in that situation. She couldn't win at all because she couldn't switch bodies due to the fact that both sides need to consent in order for the body switching to actually happen. And yeah, Ellen had no such intent of giving the body back. And everybody seems to hate Ellen, but you know, she was possessed by a demon, so that's why she was acting crazy. But not only that, but she was freaking 7 years old when everything happened. So she was a traumatized little girl, and maybe she went psychopathic in the end. But I still kind of feel sorry for her as well because she's a little girl and she had a tough past and she did what she could to continue her life. Some people say that it was mean and pathetic for her to do that, but what real other choice did she have but to the only choice she had was to die in that dying body or do what she was able to and switch bodies with some other innocent girl. So ah, man, that story. So agonizing and terrible, but it was a good story. It was written really well, and I was really glad I was able to play it. So I hope this information cleared a lot of things for you guys as well. I was pretty happy to read about the backstory of the entire game, and everything makes sense now. And yeah, I can finally stop doing stuff on the witch's house. But anyways, good game. I like the story, I like the game, and I recommend you try playing it if you haven't yet. You know, I told you from the beginning I hated horror stories and I hate horror games, but I did it. I made it through it. Yeah, this game is like horrifically terrifying, but at the same time, it draws you in. You want to know what happens in the story, but since you've watched to here, you probably know everything already. So find a different horror game and tell me how it is, and maybe I'll play that as well. Actually, I don't really want to play horror games for a good long time now. I think I'm going to go back to Pokemon. Alright guys, see ya in the next video.